shine your eyes. Again, I say, Ambazonians, shine your eyes. This is the subject of the message that I bring to you today. I am Chris Anu, your Communications Secretary, and today is Saturday, November the 28th, in the year of our Lord, 2020. Fellow Ambazonians, I need your ears in abundance today. The Republic of Cameroon has once more set the stage to test our defiance of their political authority over us. They have set the stage to test our commitment and our unbending fortitude and determination towards actualizing self-rule for our own country, the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. La République du Cameroon is scheming to carry out a number of fraudulent political events in our territory this December and January, with the aim of passing the message that they are still in control of the Southern Cameroons from the Mongol to Nkambe. And as usual, they are employing the largesse of their brain-damaged robotic sycophants, the so-called elite, to accomplish their schemes. French Cameroon plans two significant events, the so-called regional elections this December, that is, in less than 2 weeks, and the football jamboree, the African Cup in January, precisely in the city of Victoria. All of Fakol and parts of Meme are being militarized right now to make sure the football carnival holds hitch-free. But let's talk about the elections first. As we forget, the so-called regional elections are being organized as a fallout from their so-called Grand National Dialogue, in which, in their own mercies, they coin out a special status for Anglophones, as they call us. After it would have been all said and done, the elections will produce two meaningless political institutions for Anglophones, in their own words. The elections are intended to produce, number one, 2 houses of regional representatives, one in Bamenda and the other in Boya. Number 2, the elections is intended to produce 2 houses of chiefs, one in Boya and the other one in Bamenda. This is what we have gathered. The elections will produce altogether about 1,300 constituent representatives, 700 in Bamenda and 600 in Boya. Again, the 2 regional houses of assembly, as they want it to be called, shall be in Bamenda and Boya. This arrangement, in the ears of anyone who is not very familiar with our history and the history of window dressing, which since became an integral part of the devious politics of La République du Cameroon leaders, may sound like a good arrangement that should finally give power to the people. An arrangement that finally devolves power and decision-making to the counties. You are very, very wrong. No, it doesn't. Don't forget that in the mindset of the Republic of Cameroon ruling class, anything that devolves power to the counties or to the people is equated to federalism, a terminology that La République du Cameroon is very, very allergic to. What they have planned is not a devolution of powers to the people or to the regions. In the context of the Southern Cameroons, it is a divide and conquer arrangement. And I will explain later. But each time that the interim government rejects and bans any political contest organized by La République du Cameroun in our territory, we do not want to assume that everybody understands why. The interim government owes you the duty to explain why we reject it and ban it. This election, listen to me, is different. It is very, very different from any other one that the interim government has banned in the past. The very idea that the elections are being sponsored and organized from Yaoundé and of course by La République du Cameroun, a foreign country, makes the exercise illegal and criminal in Ambazonia. The exercise is an encroachment on our sovereignty and a mockery to our avowed commitment to the restoration of our own independence. We have since 2017 banned and stayed away from all pools organized from La République du Cameroun. We cannot do the contrary at this moment, especially when the stakes are just too high. But besides this, let's not forget the diplomatic public relations or the message that La République du Cameroun hopes to derive from this election. Fellow Ambazonians, this election is La République du Cameroun's route or route map to avoiding any honest mediation or dialogue. This election is a route map for La République du Cameroun to avoid sitting on the table to discuss the root causes of this conflict. Please take note, contrary to what they want you to believe, these so-called regional elections do not give the Southern Cameroon's people the right to determine their own leaders. This election does not give the people the power to choose or to elect their own native governors as in real democracies. This election doesn't give us the power to choose our own mayors. This election, ladies and gentlemen, will not give the local mayors and the local communities the right to form and to control their own police force and manage their own schools and hospitals. This election will still not do away with the bottlenecks and the bureaucracy that is so deeply rooted in the positions of so-called senior divisional officers or divisional officers. It will not do away with the positions of so-called government delegates, which they have recently changed name. The election will not do away with the brutal gendarmes who are foreign to our country and to our heritage. This election does not leave the regions controlling or managing their own resources and initiating their own development projects. That means taxes from the national oil refinery in Victoria will still be paid to Douala and not in Victoria or to Victoria. That means all its workers shall still be appointed by decree from Yaoundé. Fako County or division as they call it will still never be able to determine who gets a job in Sonora. The jobs will remain the exclusive preserve of Francophones, citizens of La République du Cameroun. Bafoussam shall remain the proxy, yet unannounced headquarters of Bamenda. All the monetary transactions in Bamenda will continue as they do today, reporting by the end of each business day to Bafoussam. I can go on and on and on, but time and space won't allow me. But let me summarily state unequivocally that the so-called regional election is a scam like in 419 in Nigerian parlance. It is a whitewash of people empowerment meant to deliver a falsehood to the international community that the grievances of Southern Cameroonians or Ambazonians are finally being addressed, and that those of us rejecting it are just stubborn, ungrateful diaspora separatists. But of course, we know the truth. We don't care. We will continue unperturbed to oppose anything that is just window dressing, anything that is short of a fair settlement that restores the sovereignty and the dignity of the people of the Southern Cameroons. La République du Cameroon falsehood will be exposed by the very character, the very conduct of that election as we know it. Don't forget that Yaoundé will in the aftermath still preserve their right to appoint your mayors, to appoint your governors. Yaoundé will appoint your government delegates. Yaoundé will still appoint the chiefs who sit in the houses of chiefs. Yaoundé will appoint the leaders of the House of Chiefs, appoint the leaders of the regional houses. Everything, and I mean everything, will still remain appointment upon appointment. And guess who the appointees will be? The Tabe Tandos, the Fonbinglos, the Angwafos, the Muketes, and don't be surprised, even John Frundi too. I mean the same people who are the reason for which we fight today. Listen to the sound of my voice, Ambazonians. Listen to this. If you can snatch only one thing from all of these that I bring to you today, this is the crux of the matter. Grab this one. This election has, as an evil strand in it, the formal or official entrenchment of divide and rule among us, or maybe I should call it divide and conquer amongst us in the Southern Cameroons, from the grassland to the mountain zone. When we joined La République du Cameroon in the experiment that is now history, a failure, we were one people, having a single house of chiefs, one parliament, and one capital. But see what they want to do today? A house of chiefs in Bamenda and a house of chiefs in Boya, a regional house in Bamenda and a regional house in Boya. That is why I say to you, fellow Ambazonians, to shine. Please shine your eyes. Shine your eyes. Is this the political arrangement with which we joined La République du Cameroon in 1961? Really? Is this what we want today? Of course not. We want our country as we had it 60 years ago. We had only one house of chiefs, only one parliament or house of representatives. The chiefs were natural chiefs, not chiefs like Tabe Tando and others who used money to buy their chieftaincies. In those days, when the Southern Cameroons was the envy that La République du Cameroon doesn't want to see today, the Tabe Tandos could not sit in the same chamber with the fun of them, or maybe with the fun of Bafut. Now, Once they have accomplished their arrangement, the next thing will be to knock our heads. For example, what is agreed in Boya will be rejected in Bamenda, and what is rejected in Bamenda, they will get Boya to agree to it. They will get Boya to tell Bamenda people to stop grumbling and crying foul that Bamenda doesn't produce anything. And they will get Bamenda telling Boya people, you people are lazy, you have sold all of your lands. This is what is coming. This election is a trap that is being set to destroy the unity of Southern Cameroonians. And this is why we have to resist it. And if need be, resist it with our lives. Resisting it means identifying its promoters, its enablers and actors, and those standing for the elections, and arresting them for due recompense. Do not be looking for polling stations all over the place like in parliamentary and presidential elections. In all of the grassland zone, we have learned that there will be only 7 polling stations in each county headquarters, and in the mountain zone, there will be only 6. We therefore have the burden to identify these polling stations and set them on fire before Friday, December the 4th. Any office, any home hosting an election or a poll should be brought down, pulled down by any means. Citizens on ground zero are asked to forward tips about the location of the polling stations, and every candidate involved, including chiefs running for the election, to the interim government for appropriate measures to be taken. As one of the efforts to send a message to the international community that Ambazonia no longer take instructions or participate in La République du Cameroon's politics, the interim government has equally declared the weekend of the election starting on Friday, December the 4th, to Monday, the 7th, a complete lockdown for Ambazonia. Now, take note. Lockdown, we should have this at the back of our minds, is not necessarily meant to stop or to botch the elections, but it sends a strong message, a firm message, ladies and gentlemen. The message of our resolve never again to take part in any political events organized by La République du Cameroon. It sends that message to the international community. It tells the world that we are no longer ruled from Yaoundé, that we don't respect their orders, that we don't participate in their political programs anymore. This should also explain why any person found putting on any party uniforms, be they CPDM or SDF or any other political party in that matter, should be reported to the Ambazonia Restoration Forces for immediate arrest. We do not have any political parties in Ambazonia. That moment shall come after we have actualized our statehood. That means anybody found wearing any La République du Cameroon party rags will be considered an intruder and a hog. Now to PWD Football Club of Bamenda. We have monitored your activities since the commencement of this struggle and found you very, very wanting. We do not have anything in Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen, like PWD. PWD used to be one of our inherited parastatals. The Cameroon Ministry of Public Works took it over, and like the many other Southern Cameroon companies like PowerCam, like Cameroon Bank, like the Marketing Board, the airports and the seaports, PWD Bamenda was killed. like they did with PWD in Boya. What is left is good for the name and memories only. PWD Football Club of Babenda is in Ambazonia. Ladies and gentlemen, the name may be Amba, but the team is in Amba. Ask for the player list, the coaches or trainers, and it will dawn upon you. You will discover with indignation that they are 90% La République du Cameroon citizens. The players come from Bunda. They come from Bafoussam, from Bangante, from Douala, Nkongsamba, Chang, and you can name the rest. Owners of this club are of course not also Ambazonians either, and they do not respect our country Sundays. They are loyal to La République du Cameroon and play the matches to the pleasure of Yaoundé, not Bamenda. That PWD will be roving all over the place, guarded by La République du Cameroon soldiers. Why our children cannot go to school, why most of Ambazonia cannot do business is a travesty, and it finally has to stop. It has to stop. PWD wants to pursue their business. They are free. They are free to move to La République du Cameroon to continue. Ambazonia does not have any football league now, and PWD is no longer welcome. Again, PWD is no longer welcome in Ambazonia. They are free to move over to La République du Cameroon to continue with their competitions. But if we find them anywhere, we find them moving anywhere, we find them transported anywhere, we find them playing football anywhere in Ambazonia, we will come after you with no mercies. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to me today. Again, this came to you from Chris Ano. God bless you all.